Hey, what's going on? My name is DennisDelemar, and I'm here to talk about Zayan Studios and Zayanverse. So I just want to give you a couple updates on Zayan Studios. Zayan Studios, if you don't know, that's my production company, my film production company. And on this channel, I haven't really talked about a lot of, sometimes I just throw stuff at you and just drop stuff when it comes to film. But I do want to kind of branch out and show you a bit about the process, let you know what's going on with Zayan Studios, Zayanverse, because some of y'all like the content, some of y'all like the movies and things that we come out with. So, all right, so let's dive into Zayan Studios. I'm gonna tell you the origin of Zayan Studios. So if you don't know, before I had a production company before, kind of like wasn't officially a production company. It was called On the Way Pictures for a couple years when I did my first film. This is going back in 2011. Zayan Studios started when I moved to Cali about 2000, I want to say around 18. Now the interesting story, I tell the story all the time, is when I was out here at first, I didn't have any equipment, right? So a lot of the films you see, like my cinematographer, Greg Watts, we worked on numerous projects together. Like I was kind of using his camera. I didn't really have equipment at the time. And so when I moved out here to Cali, I had a phone, right? And so I would use this phone, and I remember one of the guys at the time that was fellowshipping with, that a lot of people was like, yo, you should shoot something on your phone, that joint's crispy, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, I'm a filmmaker, I don't shoot nothing on no phone, man. I need a real film. I need an Alexa or one of these expensive $100,000 cameras, right? And so, and I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you how Yahuwah works. So one thing about Yahuwah, right, is he'll send messages through people. See, sometimes you just think that you're gonna just read on the page, or he's gonna speak on a loudspeaker out to you. But sometimes he'll just send messages through people to see if you're listening, see if you're seeing the common theme, right? And that's not all the time, because you gotta be careful, because the enemy would try to copy and try to he'll try to send lies through people, and he'll say it multiple times. But if you know the voice of Yahushua, right? And if you know the voice of our Heavenly Father, you'll be able to identify them, and you'll be able to hear, like, okay, that's Abba in his bond speaking, right? So you'll know, like, okay, that's them, right? So Yahuwah is sending this message, and I'm like, nah, I'm on the pride, man. I'm on the pride at the time, man. And I'm actually, because when I moved out to Cali, I was living at Manhattan Beach. Manhattan Beach was like, they had like it was like an Airbnb, but it was like, because I had this thing where moving out to LA was a thing that kind of like scared me low key, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. Keeping it one, because I didn't want to. I knew about Hollywood. I knew about all that stuff. I didn't want to get swamped into all that stuff, right? So I was just praying to Yahuwah. I was like, Yahuwah, I really want to be by the beach. I want to be where somewhere where I can just really not be like engulfed in the hustle and bustle and all that other stuff. And it'd be cool, if I could be by the beach, right? And so I was like, it was just a prayer I was throwing up, you know what I'm saying? Just, and Yahuwah answered, man. I was literally about 200 feet from the beach. Like I could literally look at the beach and look out the window. And it wasn't a situation where I had my own apartment and stuff like that. It was like, it was, like a kind of like an Airbnb situation, different folks and stuff like that. But it was cool because I wasn't really in the house, and the beach is like right there, so I can go walk in the morning and stuff like that. But I'm telling you this story because I gotta set it up for you. So, got this phone. Yahuwah's telling me, hey, you need to start shooting stuff on the phone. What are you doing? I'm like, nah, I need a camera. I need some equipment, this and that, right? So Yahuwah will humble you. He'll humble you. So I'm actually coming back late because the Shabbat's coming in, Friday night. I'm coming back late on the bicycle or whatever. And I get inside, I tap my pockets, where my phone go, right? Like, damn, how my phone drop my pocket? I'm like, nah, I know I felt my, and you ever lose something, you be thinking about the last, you be playing it back. I was like, nah, I was riding. I know I had that phone riding the bike back. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it in my pocket or whatever. So I go outside, boom, right there. There's my cell phone and I ain't been in the house. I don't even know. It ain't been 5 minutes. There, right there on the sidewalk is my phone, and it's been ran over by a car. You know what I'm saying? And literally, when I seen the phone, I was like, it just felt like it was a message. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you, you should, and that's one of the things that you learn is to be faithful in a few things, and he will make you rule over much, right? So that's what Yahusha says. And the thing about it is I wasn't faithful with that phone, and then, and he took it away from me. And it was trouble getting back in service and getting the phone and, all that other stuff I had to go through. But I just said all that to say that was kind of like the origins of how Zayan Studios really started. And after that, it was like, okay, I hear Yahuwah, I'm going to start. And so I started making content with the phone. And then right after that, Yahuwah blessed me with a opportunity. He blessed me with an opportunity to, get my own equipment, right? So he blessed me with an opportunity to get my own equipment and, camera, lights, all that stuff. And so that was kind of just the origins of Zayan Studios and where we're at and how Yahuwah just been blessing us and baruching us. And so that's the thing. So let's talk about Zayan Studios. So I want to talk about a couple things. I'm going to try to make this video very short, right? Production is like a sport. So, I want to, kind of create some short content. It doesn't have to, 1 minute, 2 minute, things like that. So I pray y'all willing that we'll be able to create some things like that over the course of time. Because, it takes a lot to do a production. I think people sometimes think we just push a button and then boom, you got a film. But it's a lot of work. So here's some projects that are coming soon that y'all willing you can expect. And I'm not going to give you no dates or times of dropping, just to give you some anticipation on what's coming up. So we've been working on a mini documentary for Brityah, right? So Brityah's documentary, that's going to be coming soon. That's going to be exciting. Just about her testimony, just about her journey. A little bit of, sure, if you listen to her music, you know her story, but you may know her journey. So that's going to be exciting. That's coming soon. And that's also in conjunction with Dysphoria. So let me change the order up. So yeah, so Dysphoria. So if you remember Dysphoria, but before I go there, let me go back to the documentary. So the documentary is going to be an experience. It's going to be exciting. We'll drop that, wherever it gets dropped. And that's going to be exciting. That's in conjunction also with, as we lead up to Dysphoria. So if you remember, we did a video for Dysphoria. We were trying to raise, I think about $19,000 or $20,000, and we didn't get that number. we didn't get close to that number. But hallelujah, praise Yahuwah. If you still want to give, the campaign's now over. But if you still want to give, you can look in the description, Cash App, all that stuff. And so we're going to, in the strength of Yahusha, we're going to do as much as we can with what we have, to try to make this film happen, and it's a process because, like I said, you need funds to do this. And so Dysphoria, if you didn't know, I think I still have the video on my page. You can go check it out. Talking about Queen Ayana, talking about this celebrity that is changing people's identity. And that topic is still relevant, even though we know Trump is in office and all that other stuff. It's still relevant because it's still a thing that doesn't just stop because the president or one of the presidents changed or all that stuff. It's still happening. So check out Dysphoria campaign video. Links in the description. But also that film is in the works, and that's an exciting film, man. Y'all got to check out the description of that, man. Like, it's an exciting film. It's going to be something special, so we're working on that. So the next film we're going to be working on is, I think I dropped it in a separate video. I told you about it, but Identity Theft 2. So Identity Theft 2. Man, I'm excited about Identity Theft 2 because it's so much information. Like after Identity Theft 1, it was just so much information that was still coming, and you have, just a little bit of snippet. I mean, you got the rise of Rome, you got the replacement theology, taking over. How does, it always interests me about those early years of the assembly, the early years of the Nazarenes, like what was happening, like where did the disciples go, like, what happened to those who were following Yahushua, like how does Rome replace, like how does another nation replace it? How do you go from, let's just say it plainly, how do you go from black people being in Jerusalem to it being whited out and to be like, we don't even exist, like we were never a part of this? Like how does it go to this false image of JC? Like how does that transition happen? As you look into it, you always go to, Constantine and, all that stuff, but it's a lot of things that happen. And we're going to talk about a lot of those things and talk about how Rome rose to power and how they, changed the image of the Mashiach and how they changed the image of the people, and so, get some clarity on that and going back to the archives, because this thing is not new, right? They try to say racism and all that stuff just existed. It just came in, as a result of capitalism in the 1600s and slavery and Queen England and all that stuff. No. We're going back. So Identity Theft 2 is going to be exciting to unpack a lot of this stuff, right? And so also the next production that is, and we already finished filming it, was Avert. So you may remember, it's like, it's funny because a lot of times with films, and also drop in the video, comment, talk to me, give me some feedback. What would you like to see Zayan Studios produce? What are some exciting things? And don't give me your ideas, right? Because I don't want to. Because I've already got the idea, and then you write it in there, and then I produce the idea, and you said I did it, But give me a generalized thing of like what things you would like to see, right? Produced, and all those type of things. But so if you remember Avert, we filmed Avert. Avert was a kind of like one of those passion projects that was originally set out to be a feature film, and kind of over the course of filming, a lot of things going on, and family and all that stuff, that we're ending up making it. It's going to be a poetic experience, right? So it's going to be a lot of those clips and things that we filmed. It's going to be a different type of film, and it's going to be dropping on Zayanverse, right? We're going to talk about Zayanverse in just a little bit, but it's going to be dropping on Zayanverse. And also the next thing that we're going to be dropping is the Chronicles of the Curse of Ham. So I don't give a lot of life updates on this channel, but probably this year, I was blessed to speak at 3 universities. That was Paul Quinn HBCUs. 2 HBCUs and 1 college. Paul Quinn University in Texas, Alabama A&M, and also Riverside Community College. And so in these speeches, we talked about Black Wall Street, and we also got into the Curse of Ham. And so the Curse of Ham is the alleged Curse of Ham is a real interesting thing that kind of digging into. There's some stuff out there about it, but the damage and the theology that the Curse of Ham has within the fabric of America is so deep that it really hasn't been unpacked like it should have, especially from a Nazarene Israelite perspective. And so that's going to be exciting. That may be a multi-series type of thing, the Chronicles of the Curse of Ham, because it's very deep. It's very deep in how people view black men, how people just think about black people, the ideas that they don't even know where this skin color hatred thing comes from. Like they don't even know, the difference between Shem and Ham and Yafet, and it's just a whole mix up and crazy, and it kind of blends into identity theft, but it's a little bit different, right? Because we're focusing on the Chronicles of the Curse of Ham. So that's going to be very interesting. That's also in the works. Also, I'm in the works also with a documentary that's going to be exclusively for YouTube, right? It's going to be called the makings of the Bible. So after the Sefer video, kind of just in prayer, just a lot of things coming to me about, like, a lot of the comments, a lot of people not understanding, the aspects of how the Bible was made, right? And it's very interesting, and that's no fault to anybody, as in a sense of, it's a fault to the teachers because they should be telling people. But a lot of people don't understand that there's a process, in translating and everything like that. And just if you're curious, like, just like how I was talking about on the Sefer video, what Yahuwah delivered to the prophets, the taught ones, and the people who were to scribe down his words, those were authentic and pure, but man, a lot of men that translated those things, they didn't have the spirit, and they did a lot of violations. And that's one thing that Yahushua talked about, that in Yirmiyahu, that the lying pen of the scribes, right? And the devil has done a lot of deception through different versions and twisting different scriptures and different stuff like that. So that's going to be very interesting. That's going to be exclusively for YouTube, so you won't have to go to Zayan, but we're going to talk about Zayan in a little bit. So you got those projects coming up. So, and I also spoke at Riverside Community College, which the Curse of Ham thing is very controversial to a lot of people, because it goes against the academic world as it regards to the recorded history. So that's going to be very interesting to talk about as well. So let's talk about Zayanverse. So what is Zayanverse? So if you remember before, we had a site called WokePix, right? And so WokePix is gone, right? WokePix is dust. It's out of there. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So now we're talking about Zayanverse, and I wanted to kind of have a streamlined, kind of look and brand, because I'm going to be rolling out soon Zayan Company, which encompasses a lot of the companies that our family is a part of. So Zayanverse. So if you don't know Zayanverse is the new streaming site. So all of my films that I shoot will be featured on Zayanverse. Now sometimes they'll go out to Tubi and Prime and different places, different platforms. But Zayanverse is we own Zayanverse. It is our site, and it's a streaming site. It's for those who are truth lovers, who are seeking truth, to have some entertainment, to have some entertainment that's going to be poured into you, and you're going to learn from and get something from, and it's not going, you don't have to worry about no kind of crazy agendas or no psyop, mind control, all that type of stuff. You're going to get things that Yahushua has given us to share with you, and I pray that it grows to hundreds of titles, Yahushua Shem. And so right now, if you haven't been on Zayanverse, if you're a member of WokePix, everything crossed over. So you should be able to use your login from WokePix on Zayanverse. And if you can't, you should be able to also get you forgot your password, it's been a long time since you signed in, go there and then just check it out. Even if you done seen all the titles, go there, check it out, because we're going to be putting some new stuff on there. Go there, check it out. Or get your, sign up if you haven't signed up, or go there and get your email sent to you. And so I'm always taking feedback. You can always email me at info@Zayanverse to just because we're updating the site. I'm excited about this site. And so sign in. Also upgrade if you're a supporter, upgrade to another level, you know what I'm saying? To you can cancel anytime at the thing, but please do that for me. Tell a friend about this streaming service. We're trying to build it to where we can get it on Roku and get it on Apple Store and Android Market and all that stuff, to have it at your fingertips and have titles that you're excited about it. But it takes all of us. Sometimes I don't want you to just look at me and just look at me like, man, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do this? When we gonna do when we gonna do this, right? So I don't have this huge team. A lot of things are independent, outsourcing and connections. And so I don't have a super huge team in this huge budget right at the moment to continue to produce so many things like just continually. But the things that Yahuwah does allow us to produce, we want to try to get them out there to everybody. So sign up, tell a friend, give us feedback, sign in, just let people know about it. And so we can continue to polish it, get it right, get people in there. So that's one thing because also, so now the last part of it is we're talking about ways you can help. How can you help Zayan Studios and Zayanverse? One of the ways you can help, which I just talked about it, is to share it with a friend. Tell a friend, hey, they might not even see the awakening. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in the earth, right? It's a lot of, and my content I pray is for not just so-called black folks, but just for everybody that is seeking truth. So if I have episodes about Christmas and about stuff, and that's on YouTube. So the awakening, which I got an exciting thing to talk about the awakening. I'm not gonna drop it just yet, but some things in the work as regards to the awakening. That may be hey, I'm gonna just leave it there. But we have that on there, and just because a lot of the things is understand, I'm not gonna drop everything on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're an independent studio, and I'm a filmmaker, full time. Doing different things in the realm of filmmaking, but that's my space. And so your support, whether it's donations or whether it's signing up for the thing, don't think it goes unnoticed. Thank you to all the people who have subscribed and are subscribers that monthly, yearly, whatever the case, because it does help us out and supports our family. It's like tithing into our family, to help us to continue the ministry of film, however Yahuwah allows it, right? So that's exciting. And so so just look for more. You can go in the description to see more ways that you can help out and all that stuff, and as far as if however you want to do that. So that's it for me. Zayan Studios, Zayanverse. We don't have any updates right now on Greenwood Film Festival, but that'll be soon. So I thank you for taking your time to watch this. May Yahuwah baruch you, and may His face shine upon you and give you shalom and keep you and guide you and give you favor wherever you go. Yahushua Shem. Hallelujah.